What is up, Jags fans? We are here, ready to go on a Friday night. You guys know how the Friday night shows go down. They're a little bit more spicy than the Tuesday night shows. If this is your first time watching a film breakdown or a Jaguars United show, I'm super glad you're here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get notifications whenever the shows go live. We do live shows typically Tuesday and Friday nights, and usually they're film breakdown oriented, but they are always Jags fan centered, meaning get in the chat, tell me what you think about all things Jags. It could be how they're doing, how you feel about the bye week, all sorts of things. Tonight specifically, we're going to be looking at Ezra Cleveland. He's the newest Jaguar. We just traded for him. Great deal, a 6th-round pick. I think you're really going to like him. I really like him. I think it was a steal of a deal. So we're going to get into some film. All of this film from tonight, admittedly, is from this season. So I didn't go back into last season where he actually graded out really well as a run blocker. I think he kind of has the total package. I know he's a little dinged up and injured right now, but we'll get into all of that. Before we do, make sure you do follow the Twitter and the Instagram. I mean, that's where I kind of can connect and talk with fans beyond Tuesday and Friday. I'm a Jags fan like you. So news that comes out, everything, I try to be involved in all of that stuff. So make sure you follow all of that. I also have my Twitch in the video description. That's kind of where I'm at other nights of the week when I'm just kind of killing some time. We talk Jags and do all sorts of things there as well. Well, you know what? Let's jump right into it because I am super excited about Ezra Cleveland. I think you will be too. Usually I start with the PFF and the grades and all of that, but I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my favorite plays, and then I'm going to kind of go pass block and run block plays. So let me start with my favorite plays first, and these are in no particular order. I have them just kind of labeled that I want to show them. So like I want to, obviously he's going to play left guard, and I'll turn the chat on here so y'all can see. These Friday night shows are a little more unorganized. So I try to get to all the comments. Before we look at this first play, we always got to shout out the first person in the chat, and that's Charlie Boy, who was here insanely fast. The only way you can get into the show as fast as Charlie Boy did in the comments is if you have the notifications on. So if you hit that notification bell, you'll get the notification whenever the shows go live. Or you could just be ready Tuesday and Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we do it. And he says first because he was first. Volkfang, however, was the first channel member in the chat. And we love our channel members around here. Thank you, Volkfang. He says, Duval. Volkfang goes on to say, what up, Nody gang? Cash Shoots thought he was first, but not quite. Long John Silver says, do you pick the songs that play during the countdown? Great question. So I've gotten a bunch of questions about the songs in my intro video, and I love it. So I've said this before if you've watched the shows. My little brother is an amazing guitar player. He plays all the time with all sorts of people. He was in a band for a bit. They put out some songs. They're really, really good. The band's called Stray and Anchors. You can find them on Spotify. So that's why I can play them without getting copy striked by YouTube because I know the band. So that's why we can do it. They're a great band, so you can check them out there. I've actually gotten a lot of questions about that recently, Long John. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm also glad that you are a channel member. I do want to get to all of these comments, but I really want to get to the film breakdown because I feel like a lot of people are going to watch this video during the bye week to see some film breakdowns and to see kind of what's going on here. So what I like about Ezra Cleveland, a lot of things. Mostly is his size and the way he plays the position. And I know that's an oversimplification, but in the Tuesday night show when we broke down the Steelers film, I showed a little bit of Ezra Cleveland because the news broke that day. And this is what I always say. The things I look for in an offensive lineman is, number one, nastiness. And I know that's hard to explain, but good offensive linemen have like this nastiness factor. Tony Baselli, one of the most nasty offensive linemen. I think that's why he got into the Hall of Fame with the limited amount of games that he played. Cam Robinson brought that nastiness to this offensive line, and I think that's why you saw a visible progression with this offensive line when Cam Robinson came back. So I look for nastiness. I look for just strength, okay? You can see strength. That's a broad term for like how you play leverage, your center of gravity. Ezra Cleveland's ability to keep his center of gravity is amazing. I look for good feet from a guard because a lot of times you're pulling, you're getting out in space in a screen, all sorts of things like that. Strong hands. Kind of goes with strength as well. And then finally, the last thing I look for in a guard is your ability to get to the second level, to get to the linebackers and all of those things. So we're going to look at a lot of plays here tonight, and I think you're going to see what I'm talking about and why I like him so much. So Ezra Cleveland's lined up here at the left guard. Although he played left tackle at Boise State, and he was really good left tackle at Boise State, he's been a guard pretty much in the NFL his entire life. So you have one defensive lineman lined up here in what's called the one technique. Now, in all honesty, every coach will call these techniques different. They'll try to use the same language in their coach's room. For the sake of us in this coaching room, we're going to call this D tackle the one tech. Then we're going to call this head up over the tackle the four tech. All right. And again, don't worry too much about this. This is not that big of a deal. And then I would call this guy out here probably a 7 tech. Okay. So that's important just because pre-snap, you kind of want to know where you're at. So watch Ezra Cleveland here at the left guard position. We're going to play it through. Obviously, this is against the Bucs. He gets to the second level. And, you're going to see this time and time again. Now, I can only clip so many plays. So I try to clip plays that are microcosms of what he does play in and play out. And his ability to put defenders on their butt, what offensive linemen call a pancake, happens time and time again. So he can get linebackers do not want this guy in space. Now, the run doesn't go for a lot, but good play there. All right, so here we're going to see it again. And, I'm not going to circle him every single play because he's left guard every single play. But I'm going to do it just for the first couple just to kind of help everyone get on the same page, right? So here again, this is probably what we'd call a 2-eye technique, right? And so this 2-eye technique kind of creates a little bit of difficulty because now he could get a bull rush from here or he could get a bull rush from here on this outside shoulder of the tackle, what we would call the 5 technique. And one of the things that I really like about Ezra Cleveland the most is he does what's called get back to square is what you'd call it as a coach. So he's able to kick, step, he's able to get to his landmark and then get back to square and keep his center of gravity like I talked about. He does that really, really well. And I don't know where he's at injury-wise, but I fully anticipate him to take over the starting left guard job as soon as he's healthy enough. Okay, I know there's a lot of questions about Fortner and Shatley being kind of like the two guys where we need help. Shatley can play center, so I think this left guard trade was a good trade here. So here we're going to watch your left guard here again. He's going to look, that's a big boy that he's just, you don't see guards manhandling nose tackles like this very often. And he has the strength. Again, you can tell his original landmark was out here on this D end. So you can see he thought this was going to be his assignment. And when he gets this stunt here and then this kind of bull rush, this is actually pretty well executed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you would imagine so because this Todd Bowles is running the defense, and our own defensive coordinator, Mike Caldwell, is a disciple of this defense. So you see the Jags do this type of thing a lot, and he does a good job of just kind of catching the tackle here. That's a win for a guard. And again, you might be thinking, okay, well, he did his job, sweet, but he did his job, and he does his job almost every single play. Which I've come to respect and love. So here you're going to see against the Eagles here, right? So now this is an interesting play, and the reason why I clipped this is because he kind of has a guy in the 3 technique. So whenever you have a 3 tech here to the strong side. So the strong side, even though the tight end's over here, the field is to here, and I feel like the Eagles are calling the strength to their right, offense is left. He's got a 3 technique here who's going to cross his face and try to get to this A-gap. I mean, that's a pretty hard block to do if you're not expecting it. And the reason why you do this is because if you can get this guard to overextend and to make your landing point here at your left shoulder, and he gets to this gap, then you pretty much have a free run of the quarterback. So here he does a good job. You can tell. I mean, look, he's very patient. Even if you look at his like pre-draft profile coming out of Boise State, very patient, which is good because he doesn't overextend. He doesn't lose leverage. Does a good job passing it off. And look what he does to this end here. Like realizes the center's got him and then just pancake. I mean, that's what I want from my guard. And like, again, he does this time and time again. He just knocks dudes on their ass. He is a ferocious, plays with intensity. I mean, that looking at him on the ground. This is what we need right here. Boys, this is it. This is absolutely it right here. I love that play against the Eagles. Here's another one again against the Eagles. Again, you got a guy in the 3 technique again. You have a nose here. This guy's kind of creeping down in the 9 tech. He's in kind of a run block stance here. You're maybe giving it away a bit and then play action. Again, I cannot even tell you how great this is. I mean, if you watch the last couple plays, when he's pass setting, right, he kind of has a lot of weight on his heels. Here, he's got a lot of weight forward. He's kind of deceiving the defense like it's going to be a run play, which is what you want to do on a play action. Smart play here. Knocks him there. Bam! I mean, he just gave this edge rusher a day right here. I mean, how many times do you have to get knocked over before you're like, bro, can we get a little bit more of a push on that guard so that he's not just cleaning my clock from the blind side right there? And again, that is what we need, boys. That is what we need. We need a nasty left guard to play beside our nasty left tackle. That's what we need. Way behind on the comments here, but that's typically what we do. KJ says, caught the stream. Hope y'all are doing well. Washington State Jags fan, who's also a channel member, says, off to work. Enjoy the stream all. Always love offensive line help. I love that, like this happens a lot. If you watch the show, and we have a lot of regulars that watch this show, every show. I love the fact that people always pop in and they're like, hey, I'm headed to work, but I'm watching this show on VOD. So if you didn't catch it live, a lot of people kind of stress out that they don't catch it live. It goes right up on the YouTube channel. Click on the live tab, and then all the shows go up. So you can, if you miss any of it, you can go back and watch it. Does he have Shatley's strength? Asks Long John Silver. I think he is stronger than Shatley. Duval TV says, glad we made the trade. Volk Fang says, channel member Volk Fang, the analysts I've heard on Cleveland has said he's not a nasty guy, but is uber athletic. Maybe playing next to Cam, some of that nastiness will rub off. And I'm glad you brought that up, Volk Fang, because when I looked at his pre-draft profile, which again is, I think, from 2016, 2017, one of the weaknesses, and this is probably my major reason why I love Ezra Cleveland, because I've watched every snap of his from this season. Let me go through his weaknesses, okay? Play strength is a major concern. Now, from the plays you've seen, has strength been a concern? And as we go through these, you're going to see that play strength is not a concern. Struggles to punch and separate. I think his right-hand punch is really, really good. Trouble sliding and washing down inside moves. Now, I will say he does get beat time to time sliding down and washing down inside moves. I will give you that. But look at the teams, the D-lines they've played. The Eagles, the Chiefs. I mean, they've played some nasty D-lines. So I think he's done a decent job. He's only given up 1 sack this year. It was to Chris Jones on a great inside move. Gets walked into the pocket. Now, He does a tad, but every guard does. Like, that's the nature of the position, and I think he does a very adequate job holding the pocket integrity. And I think you'll see when these plays coming up. Not a naturally nasty finisher. Now, from the last 3 plays I've shown you, does this look like a guy that's not a naturally nasty finisher? Now, maybe coming out of college, playing at left tackle, he wasn't. But my boy is pancaking dudes and standing over them. So you tell me if he's not a nasty finisher or not. That's all I'm going to say. Again, I will let you guys make the decision there. Okay, here he's playing against Derek Nandi against the Chiefs. See, now he's got a guy just straight head up in the 2 technique. Now, we talked about this a little bit on Tuesday's show. The 2 technique is tough for guards because, again, if you can bull rush from this 2 technique, it's really hard to keep that pocket integrity. You got to be strong. You got to be balanced. You got to have good footwork. That right step and that right punch has to be just great timing. And watch what he does here on Nandi. I mean, he does a good job just punching them and then keeping the pocket integrity. If Cousins will ever snap the ball. I mean, that's a bull rush. And that's what I was kind of talking about. When they were talking about that gets kind of pushed and collapses the pocket, that's good enough. Like, that's good enough. Like, if you give Trevor this much time, like, we're fine. Like, we're fine there. So I'm not too worried about that. I think that's a decent play there. Here's Mike Dana from the Chiefs, again in the 2 technique, going to do the same thing. I think, is this another bull rush? I think he handles his bull rush fine. Like, that's more than fine. Look at that. What I want you to watch is, watch how, I talked about this like at the very beginning, watch how he keeps his center of gravity just so balanced, and he never gets overextended. He does just a really good job here. Like, I'm really pumped about, I think this was I think this is one of Trent Baalke's best moves. And I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that because of recency bias and because it just happened. I legitimately think getting this guy for a 6th-round pick, where personally I think the interior of the offensive line, especially on the left side, has been our weak spot. I think this was a great trade. And I know everybody wanted Montez Sweat. And I know everybody wanted Chase Young. And by no means am I saying those guys couldn't have helped us. But I will say this move, I think, makes us a better team than either of those guys. It gives us depth, having Walker Little being able to be a swing tackle. It gives us Tyler Shatley being able to come in for Fortner if he needs to, if Fortner, plays poorly, or if there's going to be some dinged up people on the interior or anywhere on the offensive line. Here's him getting to the 2nd level against the Chiefs, right? So here he's got a little bit of a tricky formation here. We're back in that 3 technique. The strengths to the left of the field. This is just a traditional underfront. And here you're going to see him just pass this off and get to the 2nd level. And again, in our offense, the way we want to run the ball, we have to be able to get to these linebackers. Got to be able to engage these. I mean, I love that right there. I love that. Here's him getting to the 2nd level again against the Chiefs. Again, passes off the nose tackle, gets there. I mean, that's good. That's good right there. So I'll take that. Here's him passing a stunt. A stunt. You guys know what a stunt is, but a stunt's essentially when I can't remember who actually. And this is in the Chargers game. I can't remember who actually does the stunt here. Okay, so what they're going to do is, and this is a pretty ballsy call here from this defensive front here. Way to go, Staley. So they're going to take this 3 technique and stunt him inside. Then they're going to take the 7 technique right here. Okay? I'm sorry, this is a 4-eye. This 4-eye technique. And they're going to stunt him out here. So, pre-snap, Ezra Cleveland probably doesn't have this guy on his radar. But the fact that he's able to identify this stunt, great job. Throw down to the tight end. I think we've all seen that a time or 2 for sure. Let me get to some of these comments, and then I'll get into my folders specifically with pass blocking and run blocking. Mally's dad, what up, Mally's dad? Says, we have to teach him to scream Duval while he stares at the D lineman on the ground. I love that. KJ says, I think he's 6'6". Duval TV says, Cam and Cleveland CNC. I love it. I love it. I love it. Raiden Shogun. What up, Raiden? Raiden Pokey on Twitch is also on Twitch. I see Raiden's been on Twitch recently. I like it. I like it. Volkfang says, if he is this besides Cam, sheesh, I love it. They're going to love this. T-Law's going to love this guy. The time T-Law will get. Duval TVC, this was a masterclass, masterpiece trade. Let's go, Trent. I love it. Volkfang, channel member Volkfang, says, Balky has been so good in free agency, trade deadline market. Really hope that his draft classes turn out as well, but 2021 is looking like a masterclass in drafting, and 2022 is not too bad either. I like that. Good points. Good points. All right, let's get this. Let's start with pass blocking because there's a lot of plays here, and I'm going to have to just rapid fire them. I'm not going to break them down because I have, 4, 8, I have 10 plays here, 11 plays for pass block. So this would take all night to break down all these plays. So I'm going to kind of rapid fire them. He's playing the left guard. So here he's against the Chiefs. Let's take a look here. Again, does a good job here setting the pocket. All right, here against the Eagles. At the left guard position, the strong side to the left. This is what I was talking about. When I was talking earlier about his ability to, get to his landmark and get back square. And, I hesitate to say he's good in the vertical pass game or he's good in the vertical run game because coaches always have this issue. When we're talking about offensive line, right, and we talk about a lineman getting vertical in the pass game. Vertical in the pass game is getting back in like what he's going to do on this play. And then getting vertical in the run game is getting forward and getting to the second level and all that stuff. So I hate kind of using those cliche coach terms, but he is good at getting vertical in both the run and pass game. Okay. Whether he's covered or uncovered. So here he's uncovered. When we looked at those plays before where he had a guy head up on him, obviously that's when he's covered. He's good in both of those situations. I really like him in fan protection. So fan protection is when you're in pass pro, pass protection, and you just basically you set to your outside, and then the back blocks to the inside. He's really good in fan protection in the pass block. So here's what I'm talking about. He's got a great kick step. He's going to get to his landmark. His landmark's out here in the 3 technique. So he's going to have to travel out here, and he's going to stay square. He's going to keep his leverage, and he's going to make a great block here. And again, this is the things you look for in an offensive lineman. I mean, he's quick to get there. I mean, great job there. Great job. Here again, it's the Chiefs game. Now he's covered up here. Just one-on-one, just hand fighting here. I mean, that's strong hands. One-on-one, just getting there. I love this play. There's that right hand I was talking about, that right jab. Look at that. He's so patient. Look how patient he is. Jab. He's like, I'll fight with you. He's like, bro, I played tackle in college. You think I'm worried about playing this interior spot? I absolutely love it. Here's against the Eagles again. We're going to see him in this guard spot. Just fighting. When Trevor's going to throw, I mean, we are sitting pretty right here. Chiefs game, getting the call, sitting back, and kind of, giving away he's in pass, but that's okay. Looking for work. I love that. Look, I mean, not a great result there, but looking for work is here's the Eagles. Now they try now remember in his pre-draft weakness when the inside move gave him trouble. Well, here's an inside move that gave him no trouble at all. This is a one-on-one block. We haven't been able to have our left guard one-on-one all season, and now we're going to be able to. So I really love that. In the Chargers game, again in pass protection, one-on-one, just beating him up. This guy this D lineman just gives up. He's like, you know what? I'm not getting there. I'm not getting there, boys. Let's just give up right there. We saw this play already. All right, Eagles game. Again, one-on-one, dude. He can handle his own. We can now use that double team, the center guard double team. We can now use that for like the threat. Or, maybe the threat is like a TJ Watt type player, and now we need the guard and the tackle to double team this edge rusher, this 9 technique or the 7 technique. We can leave Cleveland one-on-one and do that. That's good. That's what you want. Against the Buccaneers right here. One-on-one. No problem at all. This offense, this is 1/5 of the offense that's now going to get a lot better because of this one addition to the offensive line. Looking for work here. Finds the Khalil Mack. Nice try, Khalil Mack. You thought you could come out there from the 9 technique and get in here through the B gap. Not on Ezra Cleveland's watch. Sorry, buddy. Ends up blocking 3 different people on this play. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. 3 people on this. I love it. Pass protection is going to be a thing of beauty now, and I think that's why they brought him in. Like I said, in 2022 last year, he had an insanely high pass blocking grade according to PFF. I know some of you don't like PFF. I'm sorry. Always love offensive line help, says Washington State Jags fan. Duval TV says, I just want to say I love these pancakes by Ezra. This is extremely exciting. Josh Dobbs could have used this guy. You guys are mean. All right. Let's take a look at run blocking. Let's take a look at him in the run game because we all know that Travis Etienne is our best player. Now, not according to Madden and not according to PFF. Well, actually, according to PFF, he actually is. But he is our best player. As far as what he's giving us. So let's take a look at some of this run blocking plays. So this is against the Chiefs here. And then we're going to take a look. Again, left guard. Now, he's getting kind of crowded. He's covered. He's got a nose tackle head up on the center. I like this. Get out in space. Clear the gap. Nice try, buddy. Not going to work here. Here against the Chargers. Again, covered up. A guy in a lazy 3 technique. Get out in space. Listen, just keeping his... I like this. Doesn't explode on the guy, but keeps his feet running. He's moving laterally. Again, this is part of his pre-draft weakness is he can't move laterally and keep blocking. Well, tell that to this because this is a pretty good block right there. Here against the Chiefs, again in run blocking again. Again, moving laterally. Ultimately, he makes the tackle and, whatever. And so maybe this isn't his best play, but, hit the gap. And maybe the center could have helped here a bit. I'm going to watch this again, actually. So the left tackle actually ends up hurting Cleveland here. Pushes him out off the block. So friendly fire, if you will. Here against the Buccaneers. 3 technique. Oh, the pull. Oh, I forgot this was the pull play. This is the first pull we've seen. He's going to pull and block this edge. The Jags do this type of run a lot. A lot. So... he's going to have to be able to do this right here. Look at this pull block. Bam! Let's go. And imagine if the Vikings had a running back like Travis Etienne. This is a tutty. Let's go. I love to see that. Back in the Chargers game, got a guy on the inside shoulder. Double team. Seals the block. Beautiful. Beautiful seal block right here. Love to see that. Chargers again. Gets to the second level, finds the linebacker. That's a finished block right there. I like that. Chargers here, double team, gets to the second level. This guy's going to be a dude. He's going to be a dude. I'm telling you right now. Look at that. So he's clearly better in pass protection, but by no means is he a slappy in run blocking. Not at all. 407 Kamer says the offense is now more balanced. They improved the interior running game and pass protection. I've said, listen, we did a whole show on the people. Again, everybody wanted DNs, and I get it. I get it. You want to be able to pressure the quarterback, and I will say this, I love the local radio. They sold all these stats about the Jags pressure numbers and sack numbers, and I get it, but like not a single one of them even like acknowledged the fact that we haven't had a bye week yet. So like the Steelers, TJ Watt and Hightower, they were like second or third, and they've had a bye week. So like you have to take into account that the Jags have had more games than a lot of these teams because they're one of the last teams on the bye. I think them and the 49ers are on bye this week. So they've had extra games. So I'm not buying into the pressure and sack numbers like in the rankings. But they've been good enough. And we've all watched the games with our eyeballs, and we can go deep dive into analytics all day. But the eyeball test ultimately, I think, is where you have to rest. And the offensive line has been the weak spot. Now, there was, again, an obvious improvement when Cam Robinson came back. And I talked about that for days. And I think I was golfing today at Atlantic Beach, humble brag right there. I was golfing at Atlantic Beach with my buddy Seth. And my buddy Seth said something today that hadn't got me thinking. He said that he thinks that time off was the best thing to happen to Cam Robinson. And when he said that, like the wheels started turning, and I was like, you know what? I think you're on to something, because at the end of last year, before he got hurt, he wasn't playing that well. I mean, a lot of us here in the shows were talking about how Cam Robinson was cuttable next year and Balky structured the deal so that we can get out of that Cam Robinson contract and we can start Walker Little next year and we'll be good. I'm here to tell you right now, boys, Cam Robinson is our best offensive lineman as of right now. As of right now. Better than Sheriff, better than Harrison, better than Fortner, and better than Ezra Cleveland. Cam Robinson is playing better. I'm telling you right now. And I'm okay with keeping him on this team. He's raised the level of intensity. He's brought some leadership to this team. And the offense as a whole has just been playing better since Cam Robinson's been back. I'll admit that. Shay, channel member, and probably my favorite commenter because he would be better at my job than I am. He says, Jason, I'm late, but do you think he starts against the 49ers? I don't see why not. I hope so. I guess I don't think it's a skill issue. I think it's a health issue. I'm not sure what's going on with his health. I know he missed the last 2 games with the Vikings. Now, it could have been like precaution because they knew they were going to trade him, or it could have been actually hurt. That's one of those things that we won't know unless we are in the locker room or on the sidelines, Shay. So maybe you should be telling us. Duval TV says, O-line help like this is priceless. BT, channel member, says, my 10-year-old says hi. Give it the word. Oh, BT. Listen, that comment made my day. I work with students. I work with young athletes and amateur athletes, and like when they tell me that they watch the show, it makes me like wow, I can't believe that like young people, because this format of me talking and you guys talking and us talking to each other, this is what me and my buddies do on the weekends. And the fact that we get to do this is the highlight of my week. So tell your 10-year-old BT I said hi back, and go Jags. That's what I'm talking about. Gary K says, I guess Walker left guard while Ezra learns the system. Okay. Mally's dad says, with Trevor playing a tick too fast in the pass game this season, this addition will calm him down and allow deep shots, which Trevor is number 1 in the league. I love it. Robbie Santis says, late to the party, but I'm still here to the party. What up, Robbie? It's okay. You can catch the other 30 minutes on VOD. Shay says, you got to watch the Cam Robinson mic'd up. He's having so much fun out there. Now, Shay, I will tell you, I did watch that mic'd up. Here's my biggest takeaway from that. And here's probably why I'm gassing up Cam Robinson so much. His energy that he brought to that game. Now, you say he was having fun. I'm going to call it he brought the energy. Here's why it's even more important. That game was in the freaking rain. It was cold. It was rainy. It was a non-divisional opponent. The Jags had every opportunity. It's the last game before the bye. The team's playing well. They have a good lead on the division. The Jags had every opportunity to not have energy in that game, and Cam Robinson brought the energy. If you watch that mic'd up, he brought the energy. That's why I think he's valuable. I'm a big fan of energy. You got to bring the energy, whether you're at work, whether you're in school, if you're leading a team, if you're working on a team. Like, the person with the most energy has the most success, okay? So bring the energy, even if you have to fake it. Even if you have to fake it, I'm telling you right now, all of you watching at home, this is a life lesson. Bring the energy at work or at school. I'm telling you right now, you will see huge success and gains in your life because energy is contagious. It is absolutely contagious. Your teammates at school or work, that they'll feed off of that energy. And even if it's fake or fabricated, you will notice an improvement in results from your team. Take that to the bank. I'm telling you right now. Sludge Sports says, I'm going to the 49ers game. So you know what, Sludge Sports? Me too. Me too. And I'll probably, I'm going to have a good time. I'm super excited about that. Volkfang says, I think Cleveland wasn't playing because they signed Dalton Risner in the offseason. I thought they had like a young guard that they were playing, that they liked. Was it Dalton Risner? Maybe it was. Carl Prudhomme says, yo, love the content. Carl, well, I love that you're here, for sure. Cash Shoots says, I like that we have this bye week so Ezra can get acclimated to help us out against the 49ers. Now, wouldn't it just be so fitting if the Jags secondary, like Cisco, comes back? I'm not sure what's going on with Tyson Campbell, but like maybe he comes back and like we continue to stack on this like Brock Purdy snowball or avalanche, if you're a hockey fan like me, like on his like down play, because quite frankly, I was getting kind of tired of hearing about Brock Purdy, like Mr. Irrelevant. I was kind of tired of it. So I kind of glad to see him brought back down to earth. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. All in all, though, I think what'll happen is I think Ezra Cleveland will ultimately elevate this offensive line, especially in the pass game. Like, this is going to be something that I think is going to be massive for the Jags, and I think that this was a really, really good move by Trent Bulk. Mally's dad donated $5 through Super Chat. Mally's dad, thank you. Mally's dad has been a donor through the years now, so I appreciate Mally. Thank you. It really humbles me. So thank you. I appreciate it. Maybe I can finally pay to get my framed jerseys on the wall behind me. I've been dragging my feet on that. I got some sick framed jerseys that I just haven't gotten on the wall behind me. And like, I love that. We'll get it done. Thank you. Thank you, Mally's dad. I appreciate it. Thank you. KJ says, if Ezra can play at left guard, Walker can be the swing tackle again. Sludge Sports says the perfect bye week for us. I agree. I was a little skeptical of Dougie not wanting the bye week after the back-to-back London games, but it's working out well. Volk Fang says they signed Dalton Risner in the offseason, and I think they like Ed Ingram, second-year player at right guard. Okay. Carl Prudhomme says Buster's showing out 2 solid games so far. Yeah, I mean, for a guy that has had as little reps as he's had, he's playing really well. And for a guy that was drafted where he was drafted, wasn't he a 7th-round pick? Right? Like, we did a film breakdown of him. I think he was a 7th-round pick. If he wasn't a 7th, he was a 6th. But he was definitely drafted after Gregory Jr., who hasn't seen the field. And I remember us, like, asking ourselves, like, how did a guy from, like, Ouachita Baptist, Division II, get drafted ahead of a guy from Arkansas? And now we're seeing that the guy from Arkansas is better. It just kind of seems like one of those no-brainer things there. Shay says, watching the Titans O-line last night, I'm excited to see this defense play them 2 times. Now, Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins are dudes. They're good players. But we talked about this with the Saints. We talked about this with all of their studs are going to get their yards. Like Alvin Kamara got his yards, but we still beat them pretty handedly. So I think Hopkins and Henry could get theirs respectively, and we still win pretty handedly. Like we've been winning games pretty handedly. Like even maybe not on the scoreboard, but definitely like on the field for sure. Mally's dad says that's a beer on the bye week, Jason. Mally's dad. Bro, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. We can cheers to that for sure. Shay says we need Zay back in addition to Cleveland, hopefully giving Trevor more time. I never realized how much Zay was such a key to the big plays. Now, Shay, I think we're all in that same boat. But to be fair, Zay Jones has stepped up this year on those big plays, and specifically those big-time end zone catches. Like, he was not doing that in his career before, and he's doing that now. So, a credit to him. Whatever he did in the offseason, whatever's working now, whatever's clicked. But you're right. But don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about not realizing how much, because he wasn't that much until recently. I mean, he always had it in him, but like now we're seeing it. BT says, dream play next week in Ezra Cleveland, pancake block of Chase Young. Let's freaking go, BT. That gets me fired up reading that. Buster was a 7th because Junior was a 6th, but it made me laugh out loud watching players try to beat out Buster's press coverage. Absolutely jams guys at the line. I love it. KJ, if you had to choose, which 2 would you want back after the bye? Zay, Walker, Cisco, or Tyson? I would take Andre Cisco and Tyson Campbell, because I think the defense is like clutch and carrying us right now. And I like Dewey Wingard. Like, if you go back and watch Tuesday's show, we gassed up Dewey Wingard. He had that play where he came downhill on that reverse where he ran 28 yards and cut tackle the dude at the line of scrimmage. That was a professional football play from Dewey Wingard. So, not taking anything away from him, but what Andre Cisco and Tyson Campbell bring us is just so valuable. I love Zay Jones, but I got to admit, what's his name? The kick returner, Jamal Agnew, has been playing decent. And Anton Harrison's been playing decent. So I think we can afford to play without them. Now, hopefully we have all 4 of them back. You put me in a tough spot there, KJ, picking. Cash Shoot says, Little replaces Sheriff next year to free up cap for Josh or Ridley. I like that O-line. You know, I haven't thought about that. If Walker Little can play right guard, he may be the most versatile gadget offensive lineman to ever live because he's played every spot but center if he plays right guard. And he could probably do that too. Duval TV, $10, dude. Come on, man. You guys don't need to give me $10, man. Like, come on. I appreciate it, Duval. I thank you so much, man. That means a lot to me. He says, I appreciate all the breakdowns and the energy you bring to us. You are awesome to have in the Jags community. Keep on rocking, bro. Duval, it was always the Jag. Duval TV, thank you, man. Seriously, anytime people give me money, you guys know I feel undeserving. So thank you. Thank you for being in the chat all the time, because your comments are great. I love it. Sludge Sports says, Ben Barch moved to practice squad. I don't know. I cannot comment on Ben Barch. Shay's going to have to give us that inside scoop. He's going to have to, because I don't know. I mean, didn't play at all, and then got announced the starter, and then got hurt again, and then got cut. It's a weird career arc for Ben Barch. Get that man a smoothie. Carl Prudhomme says, so excited we are playing at home after an exciting bye week. This is the fourth time, boys, that we get to watch NFL Red Zone on Sundays. We had the Thursday night game, we had the 2 Sunday games in London, and now for the 4th time, we get to sit back, the snack and drink of your choice, and watch NFL Red Zone, which I personally love. And if I wasn't a Jags fan, I would just kick my feet up and watch NFL Red Zone. Dude, it's 9 hours of straight football with no commercials. It's beautiful. And I heard that they're doing a Saturday. Pat McAfee and someone else are doing a Saturday Red Zone with college football. Don't know if that'll be as intriguing because I'm not a huge I like college football and I watch college football like all day Saturday. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't do much for me. The problem was with college football is there's like one or two good games every Saturday. In the NFL, every game's a good game. So it's just like, okay, I get to watch Colorado versus USC. That's the best game of the day. Sweet. Or Georgia, Florida. Awesome. Or Florida State, Wake Forest. Like, sweet. Like, that doesn't inform me. Like, so I'll watch it, but I don't get hyped like I do with the NFL. But I still follow it. Volkfang says, I think the focus off of Zay to be consistent down and down number one guy has ironically allowed him to be a consistent down and down out number one guy. Now, Volkfang, that's a little puzzling there. I don't know if my brain has the logical capacity to wrap my mind around that hypothesis. Robert Harrington, we need Zay's height in the receiving core. Yeah, I guess height is an issue. Evan Ingram is a receiver. I know y'all don't see him as a receiver. On Madden, he's a tight end, but he's a receiver. So he's our big receiver. Duval TV says, Calvin Ridley spiked the ball when Travis scored, like double cover me and my homie scores. Boom. I did not notice that. But that was a great read by Trevor Lawrence. We showed that clip on Tuesday. Great read. Because that play was designed to hit Calvin Ridley in the flat. And both the DBs bit on Calvin Ridley, and Trevor just hit that, like literally like the second step into his drop. Like it was almost like Trevor was anticipating that to happen. That's why I was so impressed. Because to me, I think Trevor was anticipating that to happen. Because he threw that thing quick. You even saw the safety like jumped because he was like kind of in the area, but like he threw that thing quick. XD Gamer says, hi, everyone. Hi, XD Gamer. Sludge says, I just realized Evan Ingram has no touchdowns this season. Oh, I didn't realize that either. But to be fair, they're running the ball a lot with Travis Etienne in the red zone. And also, to be fair, they're kicking a lot of field goals, which is fine. At least they're scoring. But Brandon McManus is freaking lighting up the scoreboard with his 3 points. Volkfang says, up here, Penn State puts on good games as long as they aren't playing a Big Ten school. Penn State, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. I can't get behind Penn State. It's hard. I mean, Michigan's okay. I mean, it's cool to see them steal signs. Ohio State's got players that go pro. Penn State just kind of seems like that third team. And I don't want to crap on you here, Volkfang, but like Penn State's kind of boring, bro. I mean, who was the quarterback they had that was like a little bit exciting for a bit? Trace McSorley. I haven't been excited about Penn State since Trace McSorley. I'm sorry. You know what? And like, I'm a South guy. I like Southern football. Bring me back Trace McSorley. Shay says, yeah, ETN tweeted about Ridley's spike after the game saying, I love this team. I'm very thankful we don't have any George Pickens personalities on the team. Now, Shay, you remember as much as me, a lot of Jags fans wanted George Pickens. And he's a good receiver. Brandon McManus is 12 for 12 on extra points and 12 for 12 on field goals in October. Pro Bowl, baby. Pro Bowl. XD Gamer United, can we see some footage of Luke Fortner if he has been good this year? It would take me a second to pull that up, and I would have to just go through random films. But let me put that in the chamber for a bit. We have a bye week coming up. I was thinking about doing something fun because there's gonna be no film to break down. You guys remember Bubba? I golfed with him today, just talking to him about he's a big college football guy. I mean, he is to college football as I am to the Jags. Thinking about bringing him on the next week if he can. I don't know, man. I may take the week off. I may take the bye week with the. Nah, I won't. Volkfang, I live in Pennsylvania, so all my aunts and uncles went to Penn State, and all my cousins and me went to Pitt. Both football programs suck. True. Nasir Premier says, I definitely was a George Pickens truther pre-draft. He's a good receiver. And I would say to that whole situation, I would be upset too if I was the caliber wide receiver that George Pickens is and your quarterback is Kenny Pickett. I would also be mad. I can't blame him. If George Pickens was here, I don't think he would be as mad because he would have a good quarterback. Well, maybe not include that one blocked field goal. We need a full Foye Oluokun breakdown. He's been balling and always one of my favorite guys on the sidelines, hyping everyone up. So, Shay, you know, because you watch the shows. Every film breakdown show on Tuesday, when we break down the game from Sunday, I always have a Foye Oluokun folder. Always. Love the dude. If he's not an all-pro and pro bowler, I'll find some way to protest. Maybe I'll sit in the middle of the road on a busy traffic. Maybe I'll glue myself to a basketball court. Haven't quite decided yet, but I will protest if he is not one of those. Bring back Linder. Okay. He's probably hanging out with Bortles somewhere. Duval TV. All of our receivers, Ingram, Zay, Kirk, and Ridley, can make the most acrobatic, talented catches I have ever seen in my life for the Jags. We can beat anyone if firing on all cylinders. The best is yet to come. Duval TV, we're ending on that comment because I love that comment. That's beautiful. That's like the thesis of this show. The best is yet to come. I appreciate you guys being here. I had a lot of fun talking about Ezra Cleveland. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure, I know everyone here is subscribed and all of that, but just do it all. Subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. Huge shout out to Duval TV for the $10 super chat. Huge shout out to Mally's dad for the $5 super chat. I can't say how thankful I am for the channel members that are here. Volk Fang, Shay, BT. Who else do we have in here? We had Washington State Jags fan was in here for a second. Long John Silver was in here for a second. I appreciate that. And you guys know my spiel on channel members. I love you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. I prefer these long form shows. They're just a lot more fun. And so I appreciate it. I'm going to figure out something to do for the bye week. Maybe do something fun this weekend. Maybe get someone on here this weekend to just shoot the crap with other people. Thank you guys for being here. You guys know that I love you from the bottom of my heart. I love talking Jags. I will see you guys next week. Keep your eye on some stuff coming up. But until then, as always, go Jags.